Hi everybody. So in today's video I wanted to discuss the topic that comes up every single season before the season starts, and that's whether to have Salah or spread his money around. Especially this season when he's priced at a whopping 14.5 million, which is quite a lot of money to have in one player when you could be spending that money elsewhere. Now currently I'm in camp keep Salah because the guy is just a fantasy Premier League phenom, as we can see from this graphic. He holds the #1 and I think the #2 record for most points in a single season. I mean, especially last year when people said he's going to regress due to his age, he actually comes up and scores the highest points ever scored by a player, which is 344 points. Yeah, but this video, I just want to discuss what's changing with Liverpool, what's changing with Salah. Will he regress? Is he going to get better? Is he worth that 14.5? And what you could possibly do with the money you save. So I made this list of pros and cons. Now I know you guys know most of these pros, but hear me out. You'll see some things that you might have glossed over, especially when it comes to point number 4 and Florian Wirtz. But let's just go through them really quickly. So one, he's assured for minutes. He's going to play 90. He's going to start most games, if not all. I mean, he does go to AFCON this year, so he'll miss some games, but that's besides the point in my opinion. He did play 38 games last year, so when he's there, he's going to play. Point number 2, really quickly, they're the most attacking team. We all know that. They scored the most goals last year, and they're always top 2 or top 3 in the last 4 or 5 seasons. And point number 3 here, they're the most improved team. So they've shored up their weak spots. They got Frimpong for Trent Alexander-Arnold, and they've got Kerkez to help out Robertson. And they've bought the main man, Florian Wirtz, 117 or 120 million pounds. Yeah, and they also might get Isak, which is huge if they do, because Luis Diaz just departed to Bayern Munich. Point number 4, they have Szoboszlai and McAllister, and again, as I just mentioned, they have Florian Wirtz, which I'll come to in a second. I think many people gloss over the Florian Wirtz effect, but yeah, I'll get to that in a second. Point number 5, we all know he's on penalties. Yeah, so the first one where I put not a con, people keep mentioning that, oh yeah, he's gonna potentially be sharing goals with Isak. Now, this doesn't make sense to me at all. What would really change if Isak comes into the team? Salah's still going to be playing up front. He's still going to be on that right wing. He's still going to be cutting inside. He's still going to be passing. He's still going to be getting passes. Where does Isak come into play? At what point does Isak take something away from Salah? If somebody could explain it to me, why would they share goals? What does that even mean? Salah's still going to be taking his shots and passing his passes. It doesn't make any sense to me. Plus, you have to remember Salah played with the likes of Darwin and Jota, may he rest in peace, who are kind of like, you know, a little bit selfish, a little bit greedy when it comes to taking their chances and shooting at sight, you know, which is not, I'm not faulting them for it. They're strikers, that's what they're supposed to do. But what I'm trying to say is, like, is Isak gonna be even more greedy or more selfish in terms of style of play? I don't think so. I think he's more of a team player. So if anything, Salah's chances are going to improve. But that's just my 2 cents. I don't see how Isak negatively, you know, affects Salah. I just don't see it. In terms of the real con, and the only con, which is the whole point of this video, is that 14.5 and what you could do with the money if you spread it around. That's literally it. So I got these statistics from SofaScore, and they're basically statistics per 90 minutes. And the most important column here is column number 5, the XA, because that's the one that's going to be affecting Salah. If we consider Florian Wirtz, he has an expected assists per 90 of 0.3, 0.33 almost, which is very, very high. And to make it make more sense, I've decided to include a list of the best assisters in the world, particularly Bruno Fernandes, who still plays in the Premier League, and Kevin De Bruyne, who is considered one of the best assisters of all time, or one of them, yeah, maybe not the best assister if we're considering Messi and some other players throughout history, but he is one of the best to ever do it. And you can immediately see that his numbers are not that far off from Wirtz's. So Wirtz hovers around 0.3 for the past couple of seasons. As you know, he's still very young. He still has a lot of experience to gain, but he's already outperforming Bruno Fernandes. Now, Fernandes has an excuse because he plays for United, who are doing terribly, but he's still getting better numbers as he should. And Wirtz also kind of sort of matches De Bruyne. I mean, if he's even getting close to De Bruyne, I think that's an achievement in itself. So yeah, don't sleep on Wirtz. And I will be comparing him to other players as well in the next slide. So here we have Wirtz versus McAllister and Szoboszlai, and I chose these two specific players because he's technically going to be playing in their position, most likely in that cam role, maybe false nine people are mentioning. But either way, Florian Wirtz is an expected assist beast. The guy takes the ball, dribbles, drives forward, and then has a lovely through pass. He's always almost looking forward. When you watch him, you won't see him passing the ball back, and very rarely even passing it sideways. He's always just looking forward and looking ahead, which I think will help Salah. And you can see here he has way better numbers than McAllister and Szoboszlai. And just quickly, I mean, and for fun, I wanted to compare him to Messi and Saka. Saka makes more sense, you know, to compare him to because he plays in the Premier League, and you can see he has the same numbers. Especially the last couple of seasons. In fact, Saka didn't even have such a good 22-23 season, even though he played 48 games. I mean, he had a good season, of course, but like expected assists wise, it wasn't that high. But yeah, the Wirtz is posting similar numbers to Saka. I think that's a good sign for Salah. And Messi, again, I just put him in there for fun. The guy is absolutely insane. He's posting similar numbers, but keep in mind he's 38 and playing in the MLS. Yeah, in my opinion, he's the greatest of all time, but then again, I digress. So moving on to the drafts, I have a couple of drafts, one that includes Salah and one that doesn't. This is the current draft that I'm actually working on, that I think I might go for come the start of the season. Of course, it won't have the same players. Kudus might not be there. Wan-Bissaka might change to something else. Who knows? But roughly speaking, the structure and the price points are going to stay the same. And I think I've covered all the key positions or key players for the start of the season, especially, okay, Salah, Palmer, Watkins, Wirtz, whom I really like, as evident from this video. Rodgers has amazing fixtures. Maybe I need to sort something out with the other forwards. Maybe downgrade Kudus, or maybe keep him depending on how he does against, I think, PSG in the Super Cup. So we still have a lot of friendlies and a lot of games to watch just to double check things that we currently are set on that might, you know, change. For example, Solanke is currently reported to be injured. Is he going to be back for game week 1 against Burnley? If he's not, then because a lot of people are going for Solanke, and he might become a downgrade to someone else or an upgrade to Gyökeres. But all in all, I think the most important question that you have to ask yourself here is, who is this crucial player, or who are these crucial players that you're missing out on? And if you can answer that question, if the question is yes, you are missing crucial players that you can't get to without selling Salah, then sell Salah. It's that simple. Personally speaking, I don't think there are any players that you're missing out on, specifically because Arsenal have very rough fixtures during the first 6 game weeks. Apart from Leeds, which you could technically free hit if you really wanted to target the Leeds game. But aside from that, I don't see how Gyökeres or Saka are crucial at the moment, especially since it's still up in the air who's going to take the penalties, although people are saying it is going to be Gyökeres. And let's quickly look at the other draft. So this draft doesn't have Salah, so I've spread the money around a little bit. Again, I've improved the strikers from a 5.5 and 6.5 to Solanke and Wood. Again, you can move these around and maybe get Gyökeres instead. I chose to move from Salah to Fernandes. Again, if you really think Arsenal are going to score a lot of goals and stuff, you can get Saka. And yeah, the money's spread around a little bit more. Overall, the team does look better, but does it look that much better? In terms of price points and structure, again, don't really focus on the players that much, because in this draft, I could have easily also maneuvered around and gone from Rodgers to Eze, and this one you can go down to Rodgers if you think he's the better player. But all in all, I think like this is a better overall team it just has the problem of who are you going to captain, and there's no way you'll be watching Liverpool if you don't have Salah, because yeah, not only do you not have Salah as captain, you do not have Salah at all. So it's like you're versing two Salahs, when considering that most people, if not all people that have him, will be captaining him. But something I always mention to my friends when I talk to them, and I say that the golden rule of Fantasy Premier League is that there's no golden rule. There's no really like correct way to play the game. There's always different avenues and different routes to get to the points. So a lot of people last year didn't go with Salah nor Haaland and still finished in the top 1,000 or something, even the top 10. When they like looked into their teams, a lot of players at many stages of last season didn't have either of the players, either of Salah or Haaland. So it's all down to you and how you play the game. There's really no wrong way, as long as you plan ahead and strategize properly and you pick your captains correctly. Yeah, but currently, personally, I'm in camp keeping Salah and going with Salah. That might change. Everything's still up in the air. Of course, we're still like 10 days away from the start of the season, but this is my current stance, and yeah, I think I'll be keeping Salah for the first at least for the first 6 game weeks. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. I hope you got something out of it, and you might have learned about a new thing or two, things that you might have glossed over in the past, or you might not have thought much about, like the Florian Wirtz numbers and stuff, or how Isak won't really share the goals with Salah. They're both going to get whatever they would have gotten anyway. They're both going to go for the shots. They're both going to go for the passes. They're both going to be super attacking, and Liverpool would be very lucky to have both. Let's hope they don't, coming from a United fan. But yeah, no, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.